Today on the program, Audi is discontinuing a legendary model from its lineup. At Stellantis, they're once again completely revising the strategy for the future, 208. Fiat is preparing a gentle monster that will be called Grizzly, and MG is becoming literally unbeatable with its new MG4. "30 years. 4 generations and a career ending as quietly as an intern returning his badge on a Friday afternoon. The Audi A8, a large luxury sedan launched in 1994, has just been simply and quietly removed from the Audi catalog, and nobody really noticed. Let's go back for a moment. In 1994, Audi arrived with a large, high-end sedan, chest puffed out, and basically announced, "We can make limousines for important people too." It was ambitious, it was bold, and to be honest, it was actually quite successful. For years, the A8 represented the top of the Audi lineup. The current version of the A8 was launched in 2017 and 2021. It got a facelift, and since then, nothing. The result is inevitably quite harsh. Even within the Audi lineup, the A8 seemed outdated compared to the new A6 and A5, both in terms of design and technology. On board. On the sales side, the numbers speak for themselves. In their tragedy in France, only 202 were sold. Audi A8 13. Sure, 13 is more than the number of seasons of Top Gear France, but for comparison on this same French market, Mercedes sold 203 S-Class. But it has to be said, in addition to the penalty, large luxury sedans suffer from a deep problem, and that problem is called the SUV. The customers who used to buy these limousines, often people of a certain age, have simply switched to taller vehicles that are easier to get in and out of. At Audi, it's now the Q7 and Q8 that are holding the top spots in the lineup, with support from the e-tron Gran Turismo. Meanwhile, the competition hasn't been idle. Mercedes has continued to develop the S-Class methodically and consistently, improving with each generation what already made it successful. So what's next for the A8, we don't know. No replacement has been announced nor even confirmed to be in development as of today. For now, Audi is simply selling off the last units in stock. So the Audi A8 is leaving without fanfare, without a farewell speech, not even one last lap. 30 years of faithful service, 4 generations, and an exit through the back door. Next, welcome to Stellantis, the car group that has turned changing its mind into an industrial strategy. This week, another turnaround. The next Peugeot 208 will be exclusively electric, and this time it's really decided. Well, for now, let's start from the beginning, because the story deserves to be told properly. It all starts with a technical platform called STLA Small. This architecture was designed from the beginning to accommodate only electric engines. It will serve as the basis for the next generations of Peugeot, Citroën, Lancia, Opel, in short, many of the group's brands. So far, so good. A year ago, Stellantis decided STLA Small would no longer be only for electric vehicles, but instead support gasoline and hybrid engines too. A decision that seemed on paper full of commercial sense, but only on paper. Because modifying a platform originally designed for electric vehicles to fit a combustion engine, with everything that involves gearbox, fuel tanks, the usual mess, you can't do that with just a screwdriver and good intentions. It costs a lot. Faced with the bill, Antonio Filosa, the head of the group, made a decision. They're dropping the idea of making STLA Small multi-energy. The next 208 and following it, the 2008 will indeed be 100% electric. That said, fans of combustion engines can rest assured, Stellantis doesn't plan to abandon gasoline engines in this segment. The current models, the 208, the Corsa, the 2008 in their gasoline and hybrid versions, will simply have their production extended, and not just by a little. The current common modular platform for these gasoline vehicles will remain in production until 2032 at least. As for the schedule, things are now quite clear. The new electric Peugeot 208 is expected in the second half of 2027, produced in Zaragoza. At the same time, the current gasoline 208 models won't remain unchanged. They will receive styling updates and added features to stay competitive. In summary, the future 208 will be electric, arriving in 2027, and the current 208 models will remain gasoline-powered for a few more years. At Fiat, they're preparing something new for 2026, something bigger, something that can carry up to 7 people. And if we believe the hints dropped on the brand's social media, it could be called the Grizzly. The name fits the brand's logic. Since the Panda is named after an animal, it's logical for its big brother to also have a beast name. Otherwise, working names circulating internally like Multipla, Pandissima, or even Gigapanda seem to have been set aside in favor of something wilder. This future SUV will be based on the Grande Panda, but will be much larger. At about 4.40 meters long, it's in the same class as the Citroën C3 Aircross or Opel Frontera. So, not a giant, but definitely a serious family-sized vehicle. The head of Fiat, Olivier François, has also set a clear limit. No future Fiat will exceed 4.50 meters. The goal is to remain city-friendly, yet spacious enough for the whole family. And speaking of the family, this SUV will be available in 5 or 7-seat configurations with a flexible interior. This future Grizzly will be built on the Smart Car platform, the same architecture that already underpins the C3 Aircross, the Opel Frontera, and the Grande des Pandas. This platform has the advantage of being multi-energy. It features 1-liter turbo gasoline engines, mild hybrid versions developing around 110 or 145 horsepower, and 100% electric variants with about 113 and 156 horsepower. The latter would come with 44 or 54 kWh batteries, aiming for a range between 300 and 400 kilometers. To keep costs down, production is planned at the Stellantis factory in Kenitra, Morocco. The target price is around 25,000 euros for the hybrid version and a little less than 27,000 for the electric one. The official presentation is expected in the summer of 2026, with sales planned for the end of the year. And finally, in 2026, MG comes back with a revised and improved MG4 and prices that once again hit the competition hard. Let's start by understanding what's changing in the lineup. The MG4 is now split into 2. On one side, there's a more affordable entry-level version called the MG4 Urban, less sophisticated, which will start at around 20,000 euros. On the other side, there's the standard MG4, which moves upmarket and gets a refreshed interior, while the exterior remains almost identical. No major design changes, but the dashboard itself has been completely redesigned. With a 12.6-inch central screen, noticeably improved perceived quality, and an interior that no longer looks like a car hastily put together on a Friday afternoon. As for the battery, MG has streamlined the lineup, now focusing on 2 formats: a 64 kWh battery that promises 452 km of range, according to the Worldwide Harmonized Light Vehicles Test Procedure Cycle, and a large 77 kWh battery with up to 545 km of range. The X-Power version reaches 405 km, all this with its 435 horsepower, distributed across all 4 wheels for a compact car measuring 4.29 meters. That's the kind of number that deserves a pause. And now the prices, because that's where it gets really interesting. The 64 kWh version starts at 33,490 euros. For that price, the equipment is quite generous. 360-degree camera, semi-autonomous driving, heated front seat and steering wheel, heat pump, connected screen, the list goes on. The 77 kWh version is listed at 36,990 euros, and the X-Power at 38,990 euros. But since the MG4 is not eligible for the ecological bonus, and the brand is well aware of this, they decided to take the initiative by automatically offering a 6,000 euro discount with no conditions on the entire range, no forms to fill out, no criteria to meet, just 6,000 euros off right away. This means, in practice, the MG 467 kilowatt hours is priced at 27,490 euros, which is the same price as a Renault 5. And the X-Power, 435 horsepower all-wheel drive, 405 kilometers range, 32,990 euros. Is the MG4 perfect? No. Is it eligible for the bonus? No. Is it made in Europe either? No. But does it offer at this price a level of equipment and range that its rivals struggle to match? Absolutely. And sometimes the numbers speak better than any other argument. Thank you all for watching this new video. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to make sure you don't miss anything. Bye.